Coming up, Guatemala City volunteers hold a free clinic in the municipality of Santa Lucia, Utalan. Malaysia City volunteers hand out scholarship aid to 439 underprivileged students in Johor Bahru. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. We kick off today's program in South America. Guatemala City volunteers recently held a free clinic at a local college in the municipality of Santa Lucia, Utalan in Sosola. Though the volunteers had to travel over 2 hours by car, they were all glad to be able to help those in need.
Passing by the market, the long queue along the side of the road are patients waiting for the opening of City's free clinic. Seeing the volunteers' arrival, everyone takes a moment to deposit their love into the bamboo coin bank. Situated 2,200 meters above sea level and over 2 hours away from Guatemala City, here at Santa Lucia, Utalan in Solola, residents are in need of medical attention. The senior has delayed seeking treatment for her facial injury, and the festering wound has since developed a smell. Today at the free clinic, she hopes City will be able to help. Seeing the sick and the poor, medical volunteers at City volunteers put their hearts into caring for these residents. At the end of the day, 1,232 people were seen by medical personnel. For these Guatemala City volunteers, every time they hold a free clinic in a new area, they discover another community in desperate need of medical assistance. Therefore, Taiwan's ambassador to the country, Sun Da-Chen, hopes the embassy can host 100 free clinics by the end of 2013 as part of its medical mission in Guatemala.
In Jordan, as the rice donation from Taiwan have finally arrived, City volunteers have started to distribute the 5,000 bags of rice to charity organizations and care recipients. Volunteers estimate that more than 13,000 residents will benefit from this help.
Traveling all the way around the world, 100 tons of rice from Taiwan finally arrived in Jordan.
Give it a number.
Despite having less than 50 City volunteers and members in the country, with everyone contributing their strength, the rice distributions are able to run smoothly. Moved by the volunteers' gestures, many students at this special school happily reach out their helping hands. To thank the volunteers, the founder of a local nursing home warmly welcomes the volunteers.
Thank you very much.
With the 50 bags of 20 kilograms of rice, seniors at this nursing home can finally get through this winter without going hungry. Other than bags of rice, the volunteers also thoughtfully present each senior with a peace charm. To thank the volunteers' unconditional love and care, a senior who likes to draw promised to do a painting of Taiwan.
I am very touched and thankful. Thanks to Tzu, all these residents will learn that Taiwanese people are kind-hearted.
Other than visiting local charity organizations, Jordan Tzu volunteers are also planning to visit care recipients and even those living in the desert area. It is estimated that more than 13,000 people will receive Tzu's rice.
Moving to China, prior to carrying out their second annual winter aid distributions in Shandong province, City volunteers visited local residents in Lingyi door to door to learn of their needs so to better prepare the necessary relief items.
Only 37 years old, Xia Yongtian suffers from severe rheumatoid arthritis. Thus, he cannot work and is left in the care of his mother. Saddened by Xia's condition, volunteers hope to bring this family some support and encouragement on this visit.
人生就是这样，对不对啊？每天的是要过啊，你过得好跟过得不好都是自己决定。
心情开朗点，对，晒晒太阳很好。
对。
我们师兄和师姐。
Our brothers and sisters are all from Taiwan. We came especially to visit you.
Tzu Chi volunteers go door to door to inform residents of Fei County of the upcoming winter aid distributions, and they were mostly greeted by seniors and impoverished families who have been longing for some warmth and care.
那谁照顾你和爷爷呀？我个人啊。个人照顾个人呐。
80-year-old Grandma Young has lived with this tumor on her stomach for 5-6 years now. With no money for surgery, all the senior couple has is each other's company.
这是我们给您的一点心意，有面条，还有桃酥饼干。想炖豆了啊，有的炖豆嘛，也是。
来，这份哈，这份会来花大米跟衣服，还有棉被给你，好不好？好。
In this neglected village, the love and care brought by volunteers is more than precious.
有个水杯，你可以用这个装水喝。啊，这么多小了，我啊，开心的啊，开心的，开心的。这个真好的。我就是孩子来看看你啊。我想从我们这代。
In our generation, we have our parents above us and our grandparents above them. So I think we should all start from ourselves and look after our elders.
Tzu Chi volunteers' love in China does not stop in northern China, but has also extended to Guangdong's Huizhou, where the local government has signed an agreement for the upcoming relief distribution that will help poor residents there pass the cold winter days.
At the 93rd Free Clinic held by the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter earlier in October, medical staff from Indonesia, Singapore and Taiwan all arrived to lend a helping hand. Moved by the devotion of these doctors and volunteers, many local residents were inspired to take part in a volunteer training seminar, which was later held at the Tzu Chi Batam Liaison Office.
Traveling from far and wide, patients from various islands in Indonesia arrive in Batam to attend the 93rd Free Clinic held by Tzu Chi. With a group of Free Clinic volunteers assisting, patients one by one find their way to the Free Clinic. In the meantime, volunteers and medical staff stand ready to alleviate pain and suffering.
I feel blessed to be able to contribute my share and help those in need.
Kayaknya kita gembira sekali, Pak.
Upon learning that the Tzu Chi Batam Liaison Office is holding a volunteer training seminar, many local residents that previously volunteered at the Free Clinic happily signed up.
We are changing ourselves when we are helping others. When we help others, we can reflect on ourselves and change for the better. We can follow the volunteers and help those in greater need.
Witnessing Tzu Chi volunteers' dedication during the Free Clinic, Dr. Alida from Bodhi Kepulian Hospital was one of the many that decided to join the Tzu Chi volunteer training seminar.
I'm very interested in becoming a part of Tzu Chi. As a doctor, we can volunteer at any free clinic. However, I am most interested in how Tzu Chi organizes these events. The volunteers are very attentive and always make sure they go over all the details.
Ini sampai yang detail-detail sekecil apapun nggak luput gitu loh.
Despite coming from different backgrounds and faith, with compassion in their hearts, everyone is ready to join the volunteers' ranks and help those in greater need.
With Taiwanese society stressing diversity and freedom in education, compulsory education is no longer the only option for parents and their children. Now, homeschooling is a legal alternative in Taiwan, and currently the number of homeschooled kids in Taiwan stands at over 1,500. Today, we take you to Taoyuan to visit a family and discover how homeschooled students Qiu Zhenting and his brothers are prospering in such environments.
Cooking in the kitchen is 16-year-old Qiu Zhenting, who does not go to school like ordinary children, but chooses instead to learn outside a traditional classroom setting.
I am giving it a try to see if I have the potential to be a chef. If it seems suitable, I will do my best to make it happen.
Taking an internship at a cafe is one of the programs that Qiu Zhenting has assigned for himself. As a homeschooled student, Cho arranges his study programs and learning goals based on what he is interested in.
Is proof through the night that our flag.
什么叫做有兴趣？说跟餐饮有关。
跟餐饮有关的。
Cho Zhenting says that after he decided to study at home, his reading of English materials has far exceeded what a school could offer him.
Basically, the school only offers homework, quizzes, or exams, and that's all. We don't have much time to read. Now I have plenty of time to read. I can read through a book per week.
Cho's experience demonstrates the core of self-regulated learning.
In self-regulated learning, the learners themselves have to take full responsibility for their learning process. They must be aware of their own interests and explore these interests in their lives. Gradually, they will be able to find a path of learning they feel comfortable with and will keep improving along the way.
Cho's younger brothers also joined him in homeschooling.
Before, his younger brother didn't have many opportunities to join Zheng Ting in his activities. After they became involved in home education, they had more time to play and learn together.
In Taiwan, homeschooling has become an option for many years. However, homeschooled students need to first submit a proposal to the local education bureau for approval. They are also required to enroll in a school and undergo regular evaluations before they can receive a graduation certificate. As well, in the family of homeschooled students, at least one of the parents need to stay at home as a full-time supervisor.
We have to pay extra for their learning in science and mathematics. We're not a wealthy family, so this is a bit of a worry.
Despite the heavy financial burden, Mrs. Cho says what she cherishes the most is more time the family shared together. The option of homeschooling not only offers an alternative path of education for families in Taiwan, but also symbolizes the changing face of today's Taiwan.
In Malaysia, we joined Johor Bahru Tzu Chi volunteers as they organized a scholarship award ceremony at a local Chinese elementary school to help 439 needy students continue with their studies. Here's more.
Here at a local Chinese elementary school, Johor Bahru Tzu Chi volunteers conducted a scholarship awards ceremony to honor underprivileged students with their outstanding academic performance. The volunteers also arranged the tea ceremony for the students to honor their parents and encourage participants to adopt bamboo coin banks.
Although the money is not much, it can help the less fortunate people.
I will take this bamboo coin bank home. When I have spare change, I will put it into the bamboo bank.
Regardless of ethnic or religious backgrounds, Tzu Chi volunteers hand out scholarships to 439 students in Johor Bahru. The number of recipients is unprecedented.
Tzu Chi helps relieve my financial burden because I have to raise 5 kids on my own.
I'm happy that my daughter can receive Tzu Chi scholarship. Tzu Chi volunteers are really kind to us.
Helping the impoverished families and assisting their children to continue their studies is the task Tzu Chi volunteers do their best to carry through.
I like design. Becoming a fashion designer means I can earn enough to shoulder my mom's burden.
In the future, I want to be a doctor to help people like us.
As recipients pursue their dreams, they will find Tzu Chi volunteers are always by their side.
To fundraise for the construction of dialysis and education centers in Malaysia, beginning in July of this year, Tzu Chings have been touring the nation with the performance of the musical adaptation of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents. Earlier this month, these young volunteers arrived in Butterworth and Ipoh for their next 2 shows. Let's take a look. Despite being involved in a vehicle accident a week before the show, Tzu Ching Lu Xuejing continues to practice.
Doing good deeds and fulfilling filial duties cannot wait. We need to let our audience know the message of the sutra and the ways that we can carry out our filial duties. No matter how difficult it is, I want to participate in the show so that I can help spread this message.
To raise funds for dialysis and education centers, Malaysia Tzu Chings have since July put on a nationwide tour of the musical adaptation of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents.
Taking part in this musical with each other, what we all really want to do is to give ourselves and reach out to those in need.
I managed to call on 6 of my classmates to become on-stage volunteers. We're not well off, but at least we can contribute our time and energy to this positive cause.
The performance not only took audience members by storm, but those on stage were also much inspired in the process.
I'm not close with my mom because I left home when I was young. Before, I always thought that she doesn't understand me, so I really called her. Now I will ring her frequently and see if she has had her meals.
Having accumulated experience from the previous 12 shows, the staff working behind the stage has been a big factor behind the success of the shows.
Our mission is to work behind the scenes and in the shortest time possible, move the equipment, tools, tables and chairs to the right place so that the actors will be able to put on a smooth performance.
Whether on stage or behind the scenes, Tzu work together to spread a positive message and make the world they live in a better place for all. Also in Malaysia, we meet volunteer Chen Youfu from the Tzu Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter, who will become a certified Tzu volunteer in Taiwan this month and learn how he was inspired to walk the Bodhisattva path.
2 years ago, when entrepreneur Chen Youfu first started practicing recycling, he was very uncomfortable.
The first time I went to practice recycling, so many people were watching me. I thought to myself, I'm an entrepreneur, what am I doing bending over sorting recyclables?
Yet this year, he vows to practice recycling till his last breath.
All the brothers and sisters have been really supportive. They often called me and asked if I could help out, and I agreed. I won't turn them down.
In 2007, Chen only watched from the side as his wife Li Tailan did Tzu work. In 2010, while on a trip back to attend a Tzu event in Hualien, Taiwan, Li suddenly had a cerebral hemorrhage and was admitted to Hualien Tzu Hospital. There, Tzu volunteers remained by the couple's side and their compassion moved Chen.
The Tzu Dharma family is truly wonderful. Most of those hospital volunteers are all seniors, yet they still do what they can to help out.
Upon Li Tailan's passing, words of Master Zheng Yan opened Chen's heart and brought him out of sadness. He chose to fulfill his wife's lifetime wish by joining Tzu.
When I was at the Hualien Jinsi board, Master Zheng Yan said to me that if I want to be her disciple, I should prepare myself to become a certified volunteer.
Since joining Tzu, Chen has become a team player and is now tolerant and forgiving of others.
He used to be very stern, now we are more like friends.
He didn't speak much before and didn't really like interacting with others. Now he can get along with everyone and he has the ability to motivate others.
Chen has transformed the love for his wife into selfless great love, which will be extended to the sick and suffering in the dark corners of Malaysia.
In Kaohsiung, Taiwan, a 4-year-old girl who suffers from a brain tumor was left nearly blind despite receiving 3 surgeries to treat her illness. As a single parent, the young girl's mother is determined to raise her child no matter how difficult it may be.
Pushing her cart around, she is 4-year-old Yu Xuan, who has atypical teratoid rhabdoid tumor, which affects her optic nerves, causing her vision problems. Because of the little girl's condition, kindergartens will not admit her. Not wanting her little one to get lonely, Yu Xuan's mother keeps her company by doing physical therapy games, while hoping one day a school will let her attend class.
It doesn't matter how difficult it is for me. I want to raise her. I am determined to do my best to provide for her despite the obstacles. I want to see her grow up.
Children who suffer from the same illness as her have passed away at the age of 5, and now with 1 more year left, Yu Xuan's mother values their time together even more. Yu Xuan's innocent singing cuts deep into the single mother's heart, as doctors gave the young girl a deadline for her condition. With the clock ticking, Yushen's mother holds on to each second, just praying for more time together.
Staying in Taiwan but moving to Changhua, next we meet DaAi University student Cai Menggong, who was born with severe hearing impairment. Thus, he was unable to fulfill his dream of becoming a tour bus driver. Knowing Cai's talent in drawing, his school decided to give him the opportunity to paint a school bus. Let's take a look.
Focusing on his drawing, this is DaAi University student Cai Menggong, who uses the school bus as his canvas.
I like the scenery in the school, that's why I always draw them.
With encouragement from his school, Cai Menggong was given the opportunity to paint a school bus.
He is very good with diagrams and three-dimensional images, better than other students.
Although born with severe hearing impairment, Cai Menggong was gifted with the talent of drawing. In his notebook, one sees many drawings of buses. Cai says it is his dream to become a tour bus driver one day.
I want to drive and serve people.
Unfortunately, due to his condition, this dream can never come true.
Although he can't fulfill his dream, drawing on the school bus is somewhat close to his dream, and that gives him a sense of accomplishment.
Under Cai Menggong's skillful hands, a doll school bus has transformed into one that is full of color and images. By bringing happiness to those that ride on the bus, in a way, Cai is fulfilling his dream of serving others.
In Lesotho, a group of housewives have joined Tzu Chi's rank and now carry out home visitations on a weekly basis. Despite living in poverty themselves, these local volunteers cherish the opportunity to help the less fortunate in hopes of inspiring their care recipients to create their own blessings.
Seeing the Tzu Chi volunteers' arrival, this solitary grandma warmly greets the blue and white clad angels. As part of their weekly visits to the Matuken community, the Lesotho Tzu Chi volunteers once again arrive with love and care, not only helping care recipients clean up their homes, but also tending to their health.
Thank you for visiting me regularly and helping me clean up my home.
By living in poverty themselves, these volunteers do their best to help the less fortunate. Not only do they carry out household chores, but also basic repairs.
The volunteers treat me very well. They often visit me, and this time they help me repair my roof. Thank you so much.
Joining in song with the volunteers, these care recipients cherish their affinity with Tzu Chi.
Back to Taiwan at the end of the show, the first of this year's Overseas Tzu Chi Volunteers Training Seminar has kicked off on November 6th at Banqiao and Santong of New Taipei City, with Tzu Chi volunteers from 32 countries around the globe taking part. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.